Hey guys, welcome to the studio. Today is a very busy business day because I've a release plan ahead of me for a song called Watch Me Burn that I finished like 2 or 3 months ago. It will be released on the label of Lost Frequencies, which is good news, but also means a little bit of work. Like, I'm not releasing my song myself on my own label. I'm releasing it through someone else, but there are still things I have to take care of, and it's a perfect opportunity to guide you guys through my process that I've used a million times on all of the songs that I've ever released myself, on how to promote and make your music as successful as possible without spending any money. Because that's exactly how I started, with absolutely zero, just by working hard, making a good song, getting it out there, promoting it as much as possible. And I want to guide you through it step by step, everything you need to do. And I can guarantee you, if you follow through, you'll have success.
You killed the light on my soul. It's all about love.
The first step to success is by far the most important. Everything else builds up on the first step. And that is choosing the right song and making the right song. Making good quality music. No matter what kind of style, it needs to be good. Technically good, mixing, mastering, the arrangement, the automation, the sound selection, the chords, the lyrics, like everything needs to be as good as possible. And my personal approach is to just make a bunch of songs, like just the first 1 or 2 hours of making a song, collect 10, 20, and then select the best out of these and finish it. This way I save a ton of time finishing all of them and then realizing that some are crap is a big waste of time. So do like the selection at the beginning, do sketches, rough ideas, select, pick the best one, finish it, and then all the way through get feedback by other producers, other musicians, family and friends you can't really count on. They will lie to you just to not hurt your feelings. That won't help you. You need people that are honest. Maybe if you play it to friends and family, don't tell them it's your song, so they can just like say whatever they want. And don't be an ass and like give them a hard time for trashing your song, because then they will never help you again. It's important that you know where you're standing at. Otherwise you can't improve, especially as a beginner. You always overestimate what you've done because you think it's brilliant, but it's usually not. The next big part is then deciding, do you want to release the music yourself? Or do you want to release it through a label? There are pros and cons. Usually if you do it yourself, it's a lot more work. It will distract you from making music. But if you succeed, you get more money, you have more control, more freedom, and less trouble with communicating with another party that can sometimes screw you. Happened to me a lot. If you release it with a label, with a proper label, they will take care of all of these tasks, more time for music making, more time to concentrate on other stuff. They will probably take away 50 to 80% of the income your song makes, which is a little unfair, but that's just how the market is right now. And releasing your music yourself nowadays is super easy and straightforward. You just need to try and find a distributor. There are a bunch available. The most famous one is probably DistroKid. I can really recommend them because I heard a lot of people complaining about certain things that are going on there with like taxes, and if you want to delete something, have something additional, any kind of small service, they would charge you extra. I personally at the beginning used Wiseband. If you're interested, I'll link them down below in the description. You can check it out. But you're free to use whatever distributor. They basically do the same thing. They take your song and put it out on all of the stores. Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, and whatnot. We're just talking about a digital release. A physical release, at the moment, for an artist that is starting out, I cannot recommend. It's way too expensive. The only way you could make money and get something moving and started is if you're already touring and you're already selling merch. Then like pressing some CDs or vinyl might be an option you can consider, but usually I would say no. And then the next steps are all about branding yourself. Think about what kind of music you make. Think about music that is close to your music. How are these other bands DJs, producers, singers, songwriters, how are they promoting themselves? What does the website of them look like? Is it dark and moody? Is it happy and colorful? You need to come up with like an identity for your brand. The press pictures of you should have like a certain look. The promo videos you make should have a certain look. How you treat your Instagram, it should have like a look that fits to the music and is rememberable, and that like people that listen to this kind of music actually like. For example, people listening to heavy metal are probably more interested in something dark, gritty, moody than in something colorful, happy, and bright. That's really something in general you should always consider no matter what you do as an artist. But then the big next step is then actually planning the release. You should start by selecting a release date. It should be at least a month ahead. I would recommend 1.5 to 2 so you can react if something goes wrong. And at that point, when you schedule in the release, you need to have your song ready, the mastered version that is final, ready, and doesn't have any mistakes anymore. And then you also make a cover. Again here, consider your CI, like your identity, make something that fits to the mood of the song and to you in general. Just pick something you like. Making a cover shouldn't be that hard. At the same time, also start making like little teaser videos for your social media. Maybe a video where you show how you made the song to get people further connected to the song. Just the song isn't enough to sell it. You need a story behind it. Maybe make a video where you explain the lyrics, why that song, what's the meaning of the song. Then maybe if you're a producer, do a technical video on how you made the kick drum and the synthesizer sounds. If you're, I don't know, a guitar player, do like an acoustic live version of the song and have like little chunks of the song a month ahead that you can post every day so people get like familiar with the song, get teased a little, and maybe also like develop already like that the melody is stuck in their head a little. And I know at this point a lot of people will say they don't even have any following and any social media things going on, and why should they do it? But that's how you get started. You have first to create the content, and then people will come. If you don't make anything, no one will ever come, and then you don't make anything because no one is there. That just doesn't make any sense. You have to start. The beginning is extremely, extremely frustrating. I think if there's one thing you take away from this video is like how to deal with like being frustrated, because that will happen a lot. You will work a lot and nothing will happen, and that just frustrates. It like happened to me. Like my entire career is like now 15 years in the making. I'd say 12 of them were just frustrating. Highly, highly frustrating. Since 3 years, things are starting to move like steady, slowly, but it's going up a little. It's frustrating. Anyways, let's continue with the stuff that gets you to success. Have a pre-save link ready. Have like your links, convert them into links you can actually track. There's like Bitly where you shorten links, but there are other companies where you can shorten it and track it so you can see where people are coming from. Focus on that. That's really important for the future. Maybe already build up a newsletter so people can like leave their email address and you can inform them every time you have a release. Those are things you really have to build up over time. Also, during this phase, start already a month ahead again. Start writing to blogs that cover your type of music. Be nice to them, write a personal email. Hey guys, I'm a fan of your blog. I'm reading about it and I'm now releasing my song. Is there any chance you could feature it? Do the same for private Spotify playlist. That's probably right now the most important to focus on. Try to convince them, ask them nicely if they could help you. Hey, I'm a young artist, I'm just starting out, I love your playlists, I think this song might fit in there. Could you please put it in your playlist? Probably 99% won't respond, but that 1% could be the 1% that is enough to spark something for you. For example, one of my very early songs, All About, was like a chill deep house song. I sent it to a bunch of playlists and no one responded except for this one playlist, and it then got a lot of plays within a short amount of time. which then triggered the algorithm, which then again made Spotify recognize the song, put it in one of their big playlists, and it has now over 3 million plays. You also do the same for YouTube channels. It's not as important as it used to because the YouTube algorithm changed a little. It doesn't support music as much anymore as long as you don't release it officially over a distributor to YouTube. So yeah, still reach out to bigger YouTube channels because like they have a big following in a certain style. If your music gets released there, it will instantly grow also all of your social media. So all of these parts that I'm talking about, they interact. If you do one, the other will benefit and the other way around. So definitely, again, be active. So now we talked about all of the stuff you do in advance. Now comes the day where you release your music and not a whole lot changes. You still write all of these blogs, YouTube channels, maybe even radio stations, remind them on the release day, hey, today is the day where it's being released. If you could feature it, it would be so nice. That's the way you have like a second chance with everyone you already contacted. Have a list with all of the contacts. For the next release, you already have these. You don't have to search them anymore, and you can add more and more and build up your connections this way. Same for the social media content. Post more and more. Very important to post a link to Spotify probably, because that's usually the most important for most artists, and make sure people like, share, and put your song into their playlist. This helps to trigger the algorithm at least a little. And again, if at the beginning your song you picked is actually good, all of this will be a lot easier. Some people do all of this stuff and nothing happens, and yes, this can happen, but if you do it 10 times and nothing happens, you should reconsider like the first step if the music is actually good enough and makes sense. Also at this point when you release your song, you should like register it with your royalty collecting company. You can do it before the release, you can do it like up to half a year or a year after the release, but do it, don't forget it, because then all of the money is gone and they will keep it. But it can be almost as much as you make through Spotify directly. So you can double your income on your music by just registering it with the royalty collecting companies and collect these royalties. And then after the release, keep up the promotion, keep on posting, keep on making video content. I don't know, if you're into TikTok, do TikTok content. Make sure to link everything to your song. Make sure to like engage with the people, answer to the comments, really important, especially at the beginning. You should answer every single comment and like just build that up over time. That's, I think, the most crucial when you like follow all of these steps. Because at this point, like 2, 3, 4 weeks after your release, the next release should be already ready to go to start this entire cycle all over again. You should have at least 6 releases per year, at least. If you're really good and you can keep it up and keep up the quality, then maybe try even 10 to 12, but that's, no, 12, don't do 12. 10, I'd say 10 is the absolute max. Also, by the way, do single releases. Don't do EPs, don't do albums. That's like a thing of the past. It just doesn't work anymore since there's Spotify algorithms. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. Most big artists, yes, they still release albums, but usually they have like 5 singles before the album release and then 5 singles afterwards. Like it's like the album is just like a fan tool. And if you're a young artist, you don't have a big following, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just a big waste of your energy, your time putting towards like 15 songs and none of them get any place. You need to build up the following, and you build it up by constantly doing the same stuff that I just mentioned. Which also already concludes the video. All of this only works if you repeat it. If you just, I don't know, you make a song, you like it, and then you do all of this, you promote it, and then nothing happens. And it's very likely that nothing will happen. You get frustrated and then don't have the energy to do it again the next month. That's how you set up failure instantly. You need to do it again. You have to fight and like do it again, all over again. And like 1 or 2 times isn't enough. 5 to 10, and then you're probably standing already somewhere entirely else than when you started. So don't be frustrated. Just believe in your music enough to keep on pushing it. Listen to the feedback of other people, implement it, improve your music with every release, improve your connections, improve your promotion skills. And I'll guarantee you, by following all of this without spending any money, you have a high chance of succeeding. So just try and do it. Don't give up. And that's basically it. Let me know how you release your music, what you've done right in the past, what made it successful for you, or if you've never released something and this video helped you, let me know. We'll see us tomorrow back here in the studio. More tips around music production, maybe also advancing a little here in the studio. There's still small things that need to be changed. For example, there's like a gap. There needs to be another little synthesizer.